Hey guys, it's Shawn Ziem, the Connection Machine, aka the Insurance Doctor. This is live number 102 on the year, and it's something that I continuously preach because I believe this is a very important piece of lead generation, networking, etc. So if you're not doing it, it might be something to start trying to do for 2021. It's something that has helped my business, and it will definitely help you. When you provide value consistently with guests and let them speak and have these golden nuggets come out, that's where the magic happens. So I want to bring on a guest that I've known for a little while, and she's been in the Connection Machine group, does a lot of great posts, lots of value, has high energy. We're going to welcome Dawn Maloney. What's going on?
Hey, what's up?
How are you?
I'm doing great. Happy Saturday, everybody.
Big Saturday. It's a great day. It's going to snow, it seems like, in New Jersey on Wednesday. Did you hear about that or what?
Yeah, I went outside for a second and I was like, oh no, I could see my breath. That means it's that time of year.
It definitely is that time of the year, and it's something that the changes, or I like changes. That's why, the spring, the summer, and winter. I don't like the snow. So if the snow comes, I really don't want that, but I deal with it. And it's something that being home with the family is fine with me as well. So as we get into this conversation, who are you? So people that are in my community know who you are, Dawn.
Like I was saying backstage, it's the one thing I really don't like talking about is myself. But I own makeupclasses.com. It's obviously a website. I am a makeup artist and a licensed hairstylist. I love what I do. I've worked in television for almost 25 years now. I have had an exciting career. I love what I do. I'm so passionate about it. And there are many different facets, right? Does that make sense? Is that a word? To what I do. I work in TV, and I've worked in film and fashion shows in New York. And I've traveled all over teaching makeup classes, 22 major cities in the US. And I've just had such a blessed career, a blessed life. And I'm just so grateful. I love what I do. That truly is the bottom line. And I love my customers. I'm a people person, and I like having fun. It's a career path that I didn't really choose. I kind of got thrown into it at a very young age. I had my daughter very young, and I needed to find a job. And I started working for a photography studio, and I loved it. And my career blossomed from there. And it's just been a really interesting and great road, that's for sure.
That's an awesome introduction for someone that doesn't want to talk about themselves. That was awesome.
I really don't, but you have to.
Yes.
And that's, part of our conversation today is doing things that you don't like to do. And, today was video 243, Shawn, on Finding Beauty, which is my morning segment on makeupclasses.com. on my social media platforms. That was something that I procrastinated on for years. My husband was saying, Dawn, you need to do videos. You need to do videos. You have a degree in broadcasting. Why aren't you doing videos? And I'm like, I don't know. I'm nervous. What will people say? What will they think? And COVID hit, and I just decided one day, you know what, now's the time. You have that kind of like that push, that aha moment. And I started creating the videos, and here we are together. And that's how we met.
I like what you just said as far as the amount of videos you've done. And every day you're doing video. And that's something that I preach all the time. I do multiple videos throughout the day, throughout the week, the months, etc. Done thousands of videos, and it's so powerful, but people are always afraid. They have this fear. I don't like the way I look. I don't like the way I sound. But then I asked them, like, they're going to meet you at some point. So they're going to see the real you anyway. So does it really matter?
That's right. And one of the things that I do on Finding Beauty, which is really hard for people in my industry, but I thought, you know what? I'm going to break through. I don't wear makeup. You know that, Shawn. Like, I go on raw.
Yep.
Today I have makeup on. Today, I did my hair because this is a professional broadcast. Well, mine are professional broadcasts, but I want women to see the real me and be as authentic and raw as possible. And I think people love that. I don't think people like perfect. I think that is so over, that Kim Kardashian era that a lot of us were intrigued by. I think that is done. It's finished. COVID taught us a lot of lessons. And one of the lessons is to be real and to know your truth. And I think that is what makes us attractive. When people say, hey, you know what? She's like me. He's like me. I want to, learn from them. And I appreciate their courage, because trust me, as a woman in the beauty industry, to go on video, TV, whatever you want to call it, every day with no makeup and hair, I don't know of many people that are willing to do that. So that was another big, I'm going to do something that's really challenging and really hard on my psyche and my ego. I'm going to push through. And I think it's well received. I really do.
Now, you have to be comfortable being uncomfortable. And that's where you're going to see a lot of growth. A lot of people don't realize that. And so when you put yourself out there, people will have criticism. They'll say, why do you do that, Dawn? Why do you do that, Shawn? Because it's showing people that you're a human being. And then in your case, you have makeup, you're showing a finished product. So you can see at the end of that video what it has done for accenting the beauty that you have. So that's how powerful it is. And a lot of people are afraid to be uncomfortable, but that's where you'll see growth. If you're doing what everyone else is doing, you're never going to be, you're not going to be successful. So
that's right.
It's so important to consistently do that. And those that are watching today, and there's a bunch of you jumping on, hit the hashtag live, comment where you're watching us from, but sit back and really jot some stuff down. But I always talk about this, is people watch what we're doing, but there's a lot of people that don't want to take action. They don't want to implement. And that's a problem. I've challenged those that are watching. Start doing some of the things we're doing. Try it. You'll see how it changes you. Yes, it's uncomfortable. First couple of videos, I wasn't that good. I was wasn't sure. But I love talking. It happens. It's something that but the more that you do, is the more practice you have, you feel more competent, so you feel more confident, so it comes across even better. So that's how you kind of have people know, like, and trust you, the more that you put yourself out there. And we have some things that we want to share with those that are watching. What is a non-negotiable or two, whatever you want to share, that you have each day to make that day a success?
Well, I love that word non-negotiable, because I think of my non-negotiables are your musts. They are things that you have promised yourself and that you're dedicated to, and that no matter what, you're still going to do it. And my non-negotiable truly is, throughout the day, is to do things that I really don't want to do. And making the videos is one of them. You're like, wait, you don't want to do them? There are days when I want to sleep in and just say, oh, why? No one's watching, have this pity party about, this isn't working, and, just all this negative talk. And that's a non-negotiable for me, is to block the negative voice in my head that is telling me that this isn't good enough, I'm not good enough, this isn't working, I'm not seeing results. Now, granted, this sounds all good on video, and we're here together and we're broadcasting and we sound savvy and great, but you know what? Talk to my husband. He'll tell you, oh my gosh, Dawn will, say like, I don't know, honey, is this going to work? I'm scared. He's my biggest cheerleader. He's my number one support. And that's another non-negotiable for me, is to have certain individuals in my life that truly support me. And I think that's something that comes with experience. And as we mature and over time, we find out, it's like the old adage, you know who your friends are when terrible things happen. And man, is that so true. I don't want to sound like a broken record. We all know this. I'm not saying anything new or fascinating, but sometimes it really smacks us in the face when we think we have a trusted person in our life and they betray us. And that is such a hard lesson. But the real lesson is to identify that and to not go back to that person. So know who you can share your dreams with and your aspirations, people that are honest with their support, not, telling you, oh, you're great, you're this, you're that, when the reality is like, yeah, you're good, but you need some improvement, right? We're all works in progress. So that honesty, that true friend, that feedback. I have great girlfriends. Shout out to my girlfriends. I mean, I have a beautiful network of people that truly love me and support me, and will call me out on my stuff. If I'm not doing what I'm supposed to do, they'll say, well, wait a minute, Dawn, you said that you were going to, my husband definitely is right there. Like, Dawn, you said you were going to do this. Why aren't you doing it? And I'm like, I don't want to hear it, but you need, that's a must for me, having quality people in my life and doing things that I don't want to do. We all have, people come over, they're like, your house is so clean. I'm thinking to myself, I hate cleaning. It's like the worst thing ever. They're like, oh, you're so organized. I hate organizing. But I do it anyway. I think that's such a great mantra.
Definitely agree with you. And some of the things I like to do consistently every single day is help 3 other people. Help 3 other people every day is a goal of mine, a non-negotiable. So that's what and a lot of people will see when I get recommendations for insurance, or I have recommendations for people that want to transform themselves physically, or they want to get into a video social media program that I have. I always give them a shout out. So my goal is to get at least 3 shout outs a day. People are like, well, why would you do that? Because it helps others, and helping others is what I live by. I don't need to, every phone call I talk about with real estate agents, cold calling, or any businesses, cold calling. I like talking on the phone and having conversation calls, connection calls. That's what I kind of twisted that term, because that's what I do. I don't sell you on a call. I want to get to know some of the pain points you might have and see what kind of solutions I can provide for you. That's so important for me. So,
I think that's so beautiful. I love that slogan that you use, that connection call, because that's really what it's about, right? Business is people. It's about connecting with others, caring, being genuine, really caring about other people's growth, because you and I both know that what you put out is what you receive. I mean, that's just a law of the universe, a law of God, that what you do will come back to you. And it's so important. Michael says, what's up, guys? Hey, Michael. So knowing that, caring about people and seeing their success is so important, and being happy for other people, right? And enjoying watching their growth. That's another thing that you and I are both doing by being so public and vocal with what we're doing. It's keeping us accountable. It's doing what we say we're going to do every single day. Someone said connecting is key. Absolutely. I mean, you can't grow a business without people. I know, sometimes we just want to isolate and, hide and not live big and play it small, but that doesn't work in business. You've got to take risks. You've got to put yourself out there. Sometimes things work, sometimes things don't. But if you're flexible enough and you're willing to learn, and your ego is small, you'll do really well.
Well said. Well said. Now, this leads into you just opened up or been marketing this makeupclasses.com. It's a business that
Mhm.
you have. So all businesses have to lead generate. How do you get people to purchase or buy or service your products? What are some things that you're doing besides the video that you're lead generation for the future? And we were talking beforehand. Lead
Mhm.
generation is putting or placing seeds in the ground so that
Yes.
you can reap the harvest in the future. And it could be 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, but that's how long it sometimes takes. What are some lead generation things that you're doing with your business now?
Great question. I'm really in a position of starting over. Now, I've been working in TV on and off for 25 years, and I had just recently been working for Fox News for 13 years. And in September, I was officially laid off from that position. But back in March, when we were all told to, quarantine, stay at home, I had kind of had a feeling by what I was seeing on TV that the whole industry was changing. People were using Zoom and StreamYard and going towards YouTube and kind of discovering that, there's more out there than just broadcast television. There's so many different ways to connect, get your news, get your information from all over, right? Thanks to technology. So something inside me said, you know what, things are about to change. And COVID definitely has changed a lot of businesses. We're finding out that we can work from home, or unfortunately, we discover that we can do with less people and less resources. We could do things on our own. So having that kind of in the back of my head, but not really announcing it because I didn't want to put it out in the universe, I was preparing myself for that. I had been in business since 1998. I had started my makeup business and I had a few storefronts. So I come in a photography studio. I'm not a photographer. I would hire a photographer, but my background is fashion, modeling, headshots, that sort of thing. Beauty, right?
Mm-hmm.
So with that being said, I have skills in my back pocket, a lot of experience of what to do, what not to do. So I'm in the rebuilding stage of taking what I learned from my old business, bringing it into my new. Now, granted, I've owned makeupclasses.com for a really long time. In fact, when I say to strangers, they're like, what's your website? And I tell them, and they'll repeat it back to me, but they won't say makeupclasses.com. They'll say something like Makeup by Dawn. I'm like, no, it's makeupclasses.com.
You better get it right.
Or makeup something. And I'm like, no, it's makeupclasses.com. And they're like, wait a minute, you own makeup classes? I'm like, yes, I own makeup classes. I've owned it for a really, really long time. And I was teaching for a really long time, like I said earlier in my intro, in 22 cities all over the United States. So with that being said, I am using my social media platforms to rebuild this business so I could go out there and teach again and have a storefront and sell product, which, by the way, I just developed my very first palette. So that will be coming out next year. Yeah, it's a process. Anything good is not done overnight. I have a children's book, The Sandcastle. I sell that. It's on my website. People will ask me, well, how long did it take you to do your children's book? It took me about 3 years to do that children's book, from concept to execution, and then the whole printing process and the whole, business behind it. So they're like, really, 3 years to do a children's book? Yes. So I believe that quality products and services take time. You have to build it step by step. If you're pushing things out really quickly, I kind of question the integrity behind it and the quality. So I'm all about quality. I I only want that for my customers, for sure.
Oh, that's
I hope
awesome.
that answers the question.
I didn't know you had a children's book. I didn't know it takes a while and things you have to keep plugging
Yes.
away. There's no classes you can take to make a book or publish a book. You have to learn by trial and error. And
Yes.
you just put yourself, another example of putting yourself out there, trying to make it work and being successful as you continue to push forward. You know, you have your setbacks every day. Like you said, some days you wake up, you don't want to do a video. Some days in my day, I don't want to get a workout in. It's my whole new push now.
Oh, forget it. Working out. I mean, and that's a must. I have to work out every single day. That was a New Year's resolution that I made years ago. And I can honestly say I've stuck with it unless I'm really, really sick.
Right.
But my workouts don't have to be like, sometimes I go on a run for an hour and a half. And then sometimes I do a workout for 5 minutes doing crunches, laying in bed, you know, but at least I'm doing it. And like I said earlier, if you make a promise to yourself, you've got to stick with it, because if you can't trust yourself, who else can you trust? And I think that's why I am a super trusting person to a fault, because I do trust myself. I know what my faults are. I know when I'm going to change my mind on something, and I know when I'm going to stick with something. And that's really important, to thyself be true, right? You have to be true to yourself. If you're, you know, saying like, oh, I do this and I do that, and, you know, the reality is, no, you don't. You know, especially with working out, you know, you'll hear people say like, well, I work out 5 days a week. Really? Because you don't look like it. But hey, you know what? If that's what you want to tell the world, go ahead, you know. But to thyself be true. If you are sticking to your promises, you will look the part, you will show up, and the world will see that. They will see like, oh, wow, you know what? She says she works out every day. Well, Dawn is a size 2, so she must work out every day, you know. So same with you, Shawn. I've seen your body transform since you started with Beachbody. You know, I watch your videos. I love your motivational talks. You know, they pep me up too. They, you know, on days where I'm like, I don't want to, you know, go outside. It's cold, it's rainy. And then I'll listen to someone like you and I'm like, you know what? He's doing it. I can do it too, you know. You have to push yourself. You have to push through that uncomfortability that you talked about.
I always say I like to help people. I want to motivate and I want to inspire. So there's important things that you can get out of doing what you're doing consistently. When I started doing my video, I started back in 2017, my first video ever. It was December of 2017. And I went on a huge rampage in 2018 and going forward. And my wife in the beginning was like, what are you doing? Why are you doing this? Is it gonna like, are you really gonna make money off of this? And I'm like, this is gonna help me. This is help promoting. It's gonna help motivate others. And it allows your whole ecosystem to start changing because they're seeing you more consistent every day. Yeah. And after 6 months of doing it, people think, oh, I'm going to start doing video. I'm going to do what Shawn's doing. I'm going to start generating leads from it. It took 6 months. And people, when they hear that, they're like, oh, that's a lot of work.
Yeah.
Well, think about the amount of leads that I generate now. I'd rather sacrifice 6 months because it's going to explode your business. But people don't want to. They want it now. They want things. What can I do now to make lots and lots of deals or leads?
That get rich quick scheme idea is just non-existent. You know, it doesn't work like that. And same thing. I have people that contact me all over the world. It's so cool, but it's taken 243 morning videos plus evening videos that I do, plus other little video, you know, side things and posts and photos. It is a lot of work. It is a lot of work, but it's worth it. It's definitely
100%.
worth it. And nobody gets successful laying around on a couch. No one gets successful doing that, for sure.
And if you are successful and you're watching, I want to interview you because I want to find out, what are you doing that you're making yourself successful by sitting on a couch? I agree with you. I want to
I
definitely
want to
know
know
that person.
too.
Yeah.
Wow.
If you're out there and you're watching, I want to interview you. I want to find out the ins and outs of people that sit on a couch and are successful. I definitely want to know about you for sure.
That's
So
hysterical.
if we transition and talk about using, and we're doing it right now, there's people on our live, there's interaction with Mike Zerner. We have a lot of people that are watching on the replay as well. This is
Nice.
a way of networking. This is a networking online. And again, going back to putting yourself out there, doing things like others do. I put posts down. I said, hey, I'm going to go live at 7 p.m. tonight. Who would like to join me? And I put the code in the post. There's been people that take me up on that, but there's people that don't. They show up. I see them pop up. I'm like, oh, they're there, but they won't want to just pop into a quick little live. The difference between
it could be cooking or something. That's what I always say.
It could be anything. But
a lot of people listen to my stuff while they're at work.
Oh yeah, then they can't.
Oh, I have it on quiet. I'm working on the computer, but I'm, so hey, whatever works, right?
Right. But just take a chance. How are you networking online? What are some tips and tricks that you would share with those that are watching to kind of keep in their back of their mind to make them be more successful networking online?
Respond to everyone. Even if you get some weird, I don't know, messages, just respond with a thank you. I think that's a really good rule of thumb. You want your customers or your viewers to know that you're engaging with them, that you're not just this talking head, that you are a real person and you care. People will message me privately questions that they don't want to ask on video about, skincare and makeup and the way they look, their hair, that sort of thing. And I'm a vault, I don't broadcast that. If I use an example, I will say a friend. I don't say their name. If I give an example, I don't say, A, B, and C said, I keep things very confidential, but I respond to every single person and post that is put up because I think that's important. It's, it shows that you care and you love your customers. You want them to engage and feel part of, because we're building this, online community, a platform, and it's fun. So yeah, that's really important. Don't ignore anybody.
I definitely agree. Respond and answer whatever it is that they ask, but then ask another question. So now the notification goes back to them and they have to engage you again. This is a strategy that works. And after any live that you do, every person that comment back and with a question, and every person that liked and loved it, thank them for that like and love. So it keeps that feed rolling so that others will continuously see it, and it's organic. You don't have to pay to get those extra leads, extra views, etc.
Exactly. Keep what you already have. Keep your fans, keep them happy, make them feel part of the group. We are a tribal being. Human beings have to be part of, and I think COVID has taught us a big lesson about separation and isolation and how painful that truly is. And thank God for technology and platforms that allow us to connect. So keeping, people involved with what you're doing and making them feel special. One of my business rules is to achieve. In other words, under promise, overachieve. So if you're going to give something, give even more. And it's always like a really nice surprise. And you never know what you're going to say or do and how that's going to make another person feel or change. Maybe they're having a bad day or something, tragic has happened. And that little bit of light that you can bring to that person is so valuable. And I want that light given back to me because I have hard days and challenging times, and I need them. I need you. I need other people in my life to help build me up. So keep that in mind, that we're a tribal community, and it's called cash flow. It's not called cash in.
Yes.
You've got to put it out to bring it back. It's just the way business works.
Love it. Love it. Is there any final thoughts that you can share with us today?
Ooh, final thoughts. You caught me. Final thoughts. Do what you love. I guess I'm repeating myself.
No.
Do it with passion. If you're doing something that you truly don't love, that's making you miserable, it might be time for a shift and a change. And that's okay. It's really scary, like we were saying, to get out of that comfort zone and to do something different. And there's so many parameters with doing something different. On paper, it sounds good. You read a self-help book, it sounds good. But the reality is, you have bills, you have a family, you have responsibilities. And, I love Tim Ferriss, and I think his 4-hour work week book and challenge and lifestyle is very impressive. But, for the majority of the world, we don't have that luxury of, working a couple hours a week and, that's it. It's something to strive for, that's for sure. But I'm also a realist, Shawn. I know what's in my bank account and I know what's not in my bank account. Right. And, you have to live by your truth and take baby steps. Of course, we would all love this amazing self-run automated business, but it takes a lot of work and a lot of dedication. And if you stick to it, I'm telling you, it's going to work. Because when I launched my very first business back in the 90s, oh man, that's a whole nother show. But bottom line is, I had absolutely nothing. I mean, nothing. And I grew that business in time also. So what you've done before, you can do again. You just have to be flexible.
So true. And I appreciate you spending some time with me today and dropping some major nuggets of information. How do they get in contact with you?
Well, guys, you could check out the website, makeupclasses.com, and my email is dawn@makeupclasses.com. My phone number is on there. If you are a beauty company and you'd like to send me stuff, my address is on there as well. You could mail things, and I love doing product reviews. Also, if you're an aspiring makeup artist and you would like some encouragement or help, you can call me anytime. I love, like you, helping other people with their career as well. And, I've gotten a lot of pushback from that over the years. Even when I was started in my 20s and I was helping people, I heard from a lot of my colleagues, why helping so many people? You're creating competition, and that's not true. That, there's enough for everybody. And if you come from a place of lack or worry that, if you help someone, you're going to take away from yourself, it's just a poor attitude. I think if you help other people, it always comes back. That's the way it is.
I hope those that are watching live in that abundance like we are living in. And we love to help others because it will come back. Because the more you help others, Zig Ziglar said it, the more people you can help get everything they want in their life, you're going to get everything in your life. So
I'm
that's
a
what I always
Ziggy fan.
Oh yeah, it
my
definitely
very
works.
first teacher.
100%. Yep. That will get you to a different level if you have that mindset. So I appreciate you. I appreciate everyone watching. We hope that you have an awesome rest of your day. If you need anything, please reach out to us. We're here to help. And we hope you have an awesome day. Take care, guys.
Thanks, Shawn. Namaste.